For more on this potential race, let's bring in New Jersey Congressman Jeff Van Drew. He is a member of the House Judiciary Committee. Congressman, thanks for being here. Do those poll numbers surprise you in any way?
They don't surprise me. Let's understand where we are and where we were. Under President Trump, we had a strong military, strong defense, strong foreign policy, strong borders, strong economy, all the things people care about. We weren't interfering with our kids' education. Now look where we are. We have a weak border. It's not even a border. We're just processing people in. Some of them just sneak in. We have decaying cities, an increase in crime, nobody listening in these urban areas and other areas to the rule of law. People know this. They feel it. They see it. High inflation rates. It's all coming together and it's gelling. And the point is, President Trump, in the most basic language, was a good president. And now we have a terrible president. In my opinion, sincerely, I believe the worst president in American history. It has to change. President Trump's going to win the primary big. He is going to win the general election easily. And the more they try to do him and the more they try to punish him, the stronger he will become.
According to another New York Times poll, there is vast concern in this country about the president's age. Let me put those numbers on the screen for you. Among all voters, 71% say that this president is simply too old to be effective. And even among his own supporters, this is the astounding number to me, 54% of Biden supporters say he's too old to be effective. Ageism is not really a factor here. It's just kind of staring everybody in the face.
It's not just the age. You can be a certain age and be sharp and, very able. It's a cognitive disability that this president has. Obviously, he's been affected. Obviously, there's something going on with his health. He barely sometimes can string two sentences together. He has a pause where he completely forgets what he was speaking about. I don't want to be mean-spirited, but my God, everybody around the world sees this. Our enemies see it. Iran sees it. So Russia sees it. China sees it. John, all the things that are happening around the world are happening because they perceive our president and the administration and our country, unfortunately, as being weak. It all started with Afghanistan when he left the way he did and left all our equipment and Afghan nationals and Americans there. Then it continued. President Putin made a lot of noise before he went into Ukraine. When that happened in the last administration, President Trump made it clear to Putin that if he went in, there'd be held to account. Biden really didn't do anything. So, of course, Putin went in, and now this administration has us involved in a surrogate war. All of these things happen. Look what happened in Iran. We not only loosened up the $6 billion, that's nothing compared to the money that they brought in when we removed the sanctions that were in place. And when I say we, not us, I say this president and his administration. What a mistake. What a sign of weakness. What do you think's going to happen?
Talking about money, CBS took a poll as to whether or not people feel, this president would help them financially. This president's policies will improve our finances. 18% said yes under President Biden. 45% say President Trump would improve their finances. And regarding lowering the chance of war, 23% say President Biden manages or would manage to do that. 43% give President Trump credit for a lower chance of war. Perhaps those poll numbers that we started with at the outset, those 5 swing states where the former president is beating the current president, no surprise, I suppose.
It's no surprise. That's the point. This president and this administration, it's one word: weak. We need to be a strong nation. We've always been a strong nation. And when we are strong, we are powerful, and everybody does well. And they're right. And you know what? It's not only, it's across the board. It's African American voters, it's Hispanic voters, because you know what? Those voters care about America too. They want a great America. They know when America does well, they do well. And they did well under President Trump. And I know the other side keeps trying to push out that, there's going to be hell to pay if this president wins and that it isn't going to be good. Well, people are catching on. The more that they go after President Trump, the more they try to diminish him, the more they try to hurt him with all this nonsense, the more that people realize that they're deathly afraid of him because he will bring America back home. In this case, the Republican Party right now, it's more than just the Republican Party. It's not about saving the Republican Party. It's about saving the Republic. And right now, at this time in history, it's in the hands of Republicans.
We just had up a New York Post headline talking about, it's an op-ed piece that suggests that the open border policies of the Biden administration are putting us at risk for another 9/11. It is the vice president who's supposed to be the border czar. She's supposed to be handling that. Her stepdaughter is also raising funds for the Palestinians, and I know you have a thought on that.
It's abhorrent, it's repugnant, because they know, as well as I know, as well as the people who are watching us on television right now, that that money will not go to save children, that money will go right to Hamas.
Congressman,
Hamas is the face of evil. They will use children. They will use their own citizens, their own residents to do anything to create more terrorism.
We are up against a hard break. Thank you for being with us, Congressman Jeff Van Drew. Our coverage continues in a moment.